battle of world across the north of the UK. And even today, it's not that easy predicting exactly where it's going to be sunny and where it's going to be quite cloudy. But on the whole, it is quite literally a mix of sun and clouds. It's because high pressure is still in charge of the weather, as it has been in the last few days or so. The breeze is coming out of the east, so it's the eastern coast that quite often see the cloudy weather, whereas the western coast see a little bit more sunshine. In fact, some of us this afternoon already, or this morning into the afternoon, have seen some glorious sunshine. For example, parts of Northern Ireland and Highland across Scotland, spectacular clear blue skies. Not the case across the central London, especially after that pea super in Edinburgh. A little bit more cloud. For the eastern coast, as we've already established, gloomy here, the autumnal gloom that is. 20 degrees for central London if the sunshine comes out for any lengthy period of time. In the southwest, temperatures of around about 18, but there's an increasing breeze out of the east and the southeast, so perhaps it doesn't feel as warm as the temperatures indicate. Now this evening and then overnight tonight, as we get into the early hours of Monday, we start to see some very thick fog forming across the northern half of Scotland, maybe not quite as bad across the central lowlands. Further southwards across England, Wales and Northern Ireland, it's a cloudy one, and once again, it's a very mild one with temperatures into double figures. Now Monday, we're still under the influence of the high pressure, but it is finally shifting towards the east and to the south, low pressure heading our way, but not until a little bit later on in the week. On Monday, in fact, we are expecting some glorious sunshine, fingers crossed if that's what you want, to develop across southern parts of Britain here. Temperatures could hit 21 degrees, 70 Fahrenheit, 70. That's warm for the middle of October, but in the north, probably closer to the norm. But Monday doesn't necessarily set the scene for the rest of the week. In fact, it will be an often wet one from Tuesday onwards, when we finally do lose that high pressure way towards the east. This area of low pressure towards the south of us becomes established across the UK. The flow's coming in from the south, the warm air that is, but the cold air stays to the north, in fact polar air. And this across Scotland is a warm front. It's the boundary zone between the colder polar air to the north and that warmer air to the south. It gets warm, but it's wet, 20 degrees Celsius. On Wednesday, that low pressure scoots closer to the UK, and this is where the battle starts. That flow from the north and the flow from the south, and there's a little bit of uncertainty exactly where this boundary between the cooler air, cold air, and that warmer air to the south will be, but it looks as though somewhere across Scotland already you can see Shetland around 7 degrees Celsius, but still 18 for the south. And then on Thursday, a really big area of low pressure, again that flow from the south, you guessed it, that cooler air to the north. Now it looks as though the real cold air will probably stay just to the north of Scotland. In fact, if it does sink a little bit southwards, that colder air, we could even get some snow across the very higher peaks of Highland, for example, but in the south still mild. On Friday, no real change. It's still that unsettled theme. It's still the low pressure. No changes in the forecast here. Strong winds coming round as well. In fact, a period of gales during the week across some parts of Britain, and some rain to come across the south as well, but still warm in the south, 17 degrees. That's the forecast.